Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're exploring one of the most genuinely fascinating processes happening inside the human body right this very second. We're talking about a highly coordinated, non-stop disassembly line that spans roughly 30 feet inside of you. Yep, we're talking about digestion. We are going to trace the exact path our food takes, step by step, really focusing on how food travels through digestion to see how our body literally turns what we eat into the energy we need to survive, grow, and just stay healthy. It's an absolutely incredible physical journey of organ systems working flawlessly together. Okay, let's dive right into this. Picture this. You just sat down and enjoyed a massive, hearty lunch. You got some rice, chicken, maybe some roasted vegetables. You take a bite. You chew. You swallow. But what actually happens to that food after it leaves your mouth? We honestly almost never think about it. But the very second that bite disappears down your throat, this incredibly complex, multi-stage relay race kicks off, propelling your lunch through a highly specialized biological obstacle course. To really understand this journey, we have to look at the 5 core phases of our digestive relay. Think of your digestive tract as this highly organized factory. But, instead of building something, it operates in reverse. We start with mechanical processing, then secretion of vital fluids, followed by digestion. Then the 4th phase, which is the big one for energy, absorption. And finally, elimination. Every single bite you take travels through this exact sequence. Now, right off the bat in your mouth, your body tackles that food using 2 distinct strategies at the exact same time. On one hand, you've got mechanical processing, so physically crushing the food into tinier pieces just by chewing. But at the exact same time, chemical digestion is already kicking into gear. Your body uses specific enzymes to chemically break down those nutrients. And actually, here's a totally wild fun fact for you. Your body produces enough saliva every single year to fill 2 whole bathtubs. I know, crazy, right? But that saliva is absolutely crucial for this initial chemical breakdown. So once you swallow, gravity doesn't just, magically take over. Now, what's really interesting about this phase is that the food is actively driven forward by a process called peristalsis. This is an involuntary muscular movement that pushes the food sequentially down the digestive tract. It's actually so powerful that it could easily push food straight into your stomach, even if you were hanging completely upside down. Basically, your muscles naturally contract in this wave-like motion, acting as the driving mechanical force to keep your lunch moving steadily forward. So, after surging down the esophagus, your food hits a major checkpoint in our relay. Where does it actually stay, and how exactly is it broken down even further? Well, your food has now entered the stomach, which is this vital holding tank where the real heavy lifting of the digestion phase happens. But you might be wondering, how does the stomach and the organs right after it actually know what to do with all the different parts of your meal? Well, this brilliantly illustrates how our bodies handle different types of foods with just remarkable precision. Each organ acts as a highly specialized station, deploying specific chemical characters, or enzymes. Up in the mouth, saliva specifically targets carbohydrates, like the rice from your lunch. Moving down, the stomach deploys stomach enzymes to attack proteins, breaking down that chicken and turning your whole meal into this acidic mixture called chyme. And finally, as that chyme travels into the small intestine, lipid enzymes take over to break down the fats. It is quite literally a perfectly synchronized, highly targeted chemical attack on your meal. Okay, so we've broken the food down both mechanically and chemically into these tiny, microscopic parts. But here is a question for you. Why can't food simply stay in the stomach forever? Right? I mean, if the stomach does such a fantastic job breaking things down, why does the journey need to keep going? Well, the answer is pretty simple. Breaking food down is really only half the battle. Now your body actually needs to harvest the rewards of all that hard work. And that brings us to the absolute climax of our nutrient journey, the small intestine. Your food is going to travel through roughly 20 feet of this organ, which is the primary site where most nutrients are actually absorbed and transferred directly into your blood. To put that into perspective, if you flattened out all the microscopic ridges inside your small intestine, it would cover an entire tennis court. No way, right? It basically acts as a massive biological sponge, extracting all that vital energy and securely handing those nutrients off to your bloodstream. Of course, not every single thing you eat can be perfectly utilized by the body, and this leads us to the final phase, which is elimination. Safely passing into the large intestine, any undigested food, think of the fibrous parts of your vegetables or whole grains, is basically drained of any remaining water. It gets efficiently packaged for disposal and is eventually removed from the body as waste. It's just a clean, totally necessary end to the physical journey of the food itself. But wait, plot twist here.
Does the digestive system work alone? We've just spent all this time tracing the path from the mouth, down the esophagus, into the stomach, winding through the intestines, and out the end. It's super easy to think of digestion as this isolated, independent tube, just kind of doing its own thing inside of us. But if we zoom out for a second and look at the whole human body, we see a completely different and honestly much more fascinating picture.
So, the absolutely crucial point is that the digestive system is entirely dependent on a massive network of teamwork. Look at this. The muscular system is what actually powers that peristalsis to physically move the food. The circulatory system transports those newly absorbed nutrients from the digestive tract straight out to your cells. The respiratory system provides the oxygen your body cells absolutely need to release the energy from those nutrients. And finally, the excretory system removes the final metabolic waste. Your digestive organs literally couldn't process a single bite of your lunch without this massive, invisible support team.
And that really brings us to this foundational rule of human biology. Organ systems work together for growth, survival, and health. You're not just a collection of independent, isolated parts. You are a perfectly balanced, deeply interdependent biological machine. Every single time you take a bite of food, it initiates this massive collaborative effort across your entire body, all just to keep you alive and functioning optimally. So, as we wrap up this incredible physical journey of how food travels through digestion, I want to leave you with this final amazing thought. What impresses you most about the hidden teamwork of your organ systems keeping you strong and healthy right now? I mean, even as you sit here listening to this explainer, your body is quietly and efficiently running this magnificent relay race inside of you. Thanks so much for joining me today, and keep marveling at the incredible science happening just beneath your skin.